If there's one sweet treat that global pop sensation Selena Gomez absolutely adores, it's Haribo Gummy Bears. They're chewy, colorful, and fun to eat. What's not to like? But how are these tiny bears even made into the fruity candy that we all know and love? From raw ingredients to their colorful packaging, this is how Selena Gomez's favorite Haribo gummy candies are made. Haribo gummy bears have an origin story as sweet as the candies themselves. It all began in the 1920s Germany, at a time of major cultural and economic shifts. Hans Riegel, a talented confectioner with a big vision, started Haribo in the city of Bonn with just a copper pot and a rolling pin in his small kitchen. Hans began experimenting with his recipes until he struck gold in 1922 with his first big creation, the dancing bear. These gummy candies were larger and thinner than today's gummy bears, but had the same irresistible fruity flavor and chewy texture. They were immediately popular. While his wife Gertrude was busy delivering orders, Hans worked on the recipe and growing the company. But then came World War II, which put a stop to production, especially when Hans's sons, Hans Jr. and Paul, were captured and held as prisoners of war. Then Hans Sr. passed away, and it was time for the younger generation to start over. But what kept the business going? Well, it was the gummy bear. That still doesn't answer the question of how these gummy bears are even made. The journey of the gummy bear starts with something called the slurry, a liquid mix that's the base for every gummy. Haribo's factories are huge and built for this process, with giant steel tanks that could hold thousands of liters. Workers measure out the key ingredients, glucose syrup, sugar, and starch, and pour them into the tanks. The mix is heated and stirred until it turns into a thick, smooth base. The temperature has to be just right so everything blends perfectly. That's how gummy bear production starts. Now at this stage, the ingredients have to be kept at the perfect temperature. Even a minor deviation can alter the final texture or flavor of the gummy bears. Advanced sensors and automated systems monitor the temperature continuously, ensuring the mixture is heated evenly and maintained at the optimal range. Once the base achieves the perfect consistency, gelatin is introduced. That's where the gummy bear gets its chewy texture from. This addition requires careful timing and precise measurement, as too much or too little gelatin can drastically change the texture of the final product. The gelatin quickly dissolves into the warm slurry, seamlessly integrating into the mixture without affecting its smoothness. After this, it's time to add all the flavors and colors that make the gummy bears unique. At this stage, they add a mix of natural and artificial flavors, like raspberry, pineapple, lemon, and strawberry, each to a separate batch for its own unique flavor. The gummy bears get their colors from food-grade dyes. After the slurry is ready, it's time to finally get into the familiar gummy bear shape. This means using the best technology and engineering to get the mold. And a key ingredient in this process is the starch mogul, a machine that could shape candies or candy centers from syrups or gels. Once the molds are prepared, the slurry is transferred into the starch Haribo's depositor section. The depositor, with its multiple nozzles, carefully fills each mold with the exact amount of gummy mixture. This precision is important to make sure all the gummies are the same size, shape, and weight. Modern machines can even add different colors or flavors during this step, making it possible to create gummies with multiple colors or flavors in one batch. The cornstarch has two important jobs in this process. It shapes the molds for the gummies and also absorbs extra moisture as the mixture cools and hardens. Another role of cornstarch is to add to the texture of gummy bears and keep them in shape. Once the mold trays are filled with the slurry, they move along the conveyor belt to the next step. The filled trays are sent to another temperature-controlled room where the gummy bears will now go, from liquid slurry to solid candies. This resting period is an important part of the process. The temperature and humidity in the room are carefully controlled to make sure the gummy bears cool and harden properly. The exact duration of this stage is a tightly held Haribo secret, fine-tuned over decades to achieve the brand's signature texture. During this time, the cornstarch molds help regulate the moisture content of the gummy, gradually solidifying the mixture into its final form. The controlled environment makes sure that all the gummy bears are equally chewy and flavorful. After they rest, the trays are taken out of the cooling room and flipped over. The gummy bears, now fully formed, gently fall out of their starchy molds onto a vibrating sieve. This step is designed to remove any excess starch clinging to the candies. The vibrations and brushes are responsible for cleaning each gummy bear and preparing them for their next step. As mentioned earlier, Haribo also recycles leftover starch. The company cleans, dries, and reuses it through a special system. First, they sift the starch to remove any candy leftover, then dry it with hot air. Once dry, they cool it and send it back to the production line to mold the next batch. At this stage, the gummy bears are pretty much ready, but they still need that glossy finish. This is where the polishing process comes in, a step that combines science and precision to give the gummies their signature shine while ensuring they don't stick together. The gummy bears are transferred to large rotating drums, where they go through a gentle tumbling process. Inside the drums, they add a small amount of food-safe coating, either beeswax or carnauba wax. Carnauba wax comes from the carnauba palm and gives the gummy bears their natural shine. Beeswax creates a soft coating that makes Haribo gummies more smooth and durable. It's important to get a right amount of wax. Too much can make the bears slippery, while too little could end up making them look a little dull. As the drums spin, the gummies tumble and spread the wax evenly. This tumbling not only creates the shiny finish, but also prevents the bears from sticking together, ensuring they remain intact and visually appealing when packaged. The wax coating also serves a practical purpose beyond aesthetics. It acts as a protective barrier, shielding the gummies from external moisture and helping them maintain their chewiness during storage. Also, the wax enhances the candy's shelf life, ensuring they stay fresh from the moment they leave the factory to when they arrive on the store shelves and ultimately in your hands. Once the tumbling process is complete, the gummy bears are moved on to another cooling area. This step allows the wax coating to fully set, locking in the glossy finish and ensuring each bear looks uniform and ready for packaging. The temperature and humidity in this cooling area are carefully controlled, just like in earlier stages of production, to maintain consistency and prevent any softening or melting of the wax layer. Throughout the production process, quality control is important. Every gummy bear is checked to make sure it meets the brand's high standards for flavor, texture, and appearance. From the moment the slurry is made to the final polishing, the candies go through several quality checks. During the polishing stage, technicians inspect each gummy to make sure the wax coating is applied evenly and that each candy has a smooth, shiny surface. Automated systems also scan for any imperfections, such as uneven shapes or inconsistent finishes. If a batch of gummy bears falls short of Haribo standards, it's immediately pulled from production line for further review. But quality control doesn't stop at visual checks. Haribo employs trained testers who sample gummies from every batch to ensure that the flavors are consistent and true to the brand's signature taste. The tasters check each candy for its chewiness, sweetness, tartness, and overall flavor. This hands-on process makes sure the gummy bears taste as good as they look, but also deliver the delightful taste that fans around the world have come to expect. Apart from taste testing, Haribo uses advanced technology to perform detailed analysis of the candies. Instruments measure factors like moisture content, texture, and weight to ensure uniformity across every batch. Haribo uses high-tech equipment to make sure the production process is standardized, whether it's made in Germany, the US, or anywhere else. By the time a gummy bear goes into a bag, it's been inspected, tasted, and adjusted to perfection. Once the bears are polished and checked, they're ready for packaging. First, the gummy bears are sorted by color and flavor. Vibrating trays portion exact amounts into signature gold bags, ensuring every package contains a perfect mix of flavors. High-speed machines seal the bags and add labels with nutritional info, batch numbers, and expiration dates. The bags are then packed into boxes, stacked onto pallets, and shipped out to stores across the world. Starting from a small kitchen in Bonn to a global company, they've got far more products than just gummy bear now, like sour gold bears, happy cola gummies, and seasonal limited editions. But they don't just make these yummy candies, they also do their best to carry out environmentally friendly production. They do this by recycling starch molds and sourcing ingredients responsibly. The company has even replaced certain ingredients, like carnauba wax, with alternatives like beeswax to address environmental and ethical concerns. They might have a bunch of other products now, but at the core of their success, it is still the gummy bear. Today, Haribo makes billions of gummy bears annually, and they're bought by candy lovers in almost 100 countries. Does knowing all the effort that goes into making them taste even sweeter? Well, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, share with your candy-loving friends, and subscribe to Simply Processed for more fascinating food journeys.